Esau, I am sorry, but I'm going to do this in English right now. And what I want to show you is that once you get to the Grand Canyon non-commercial river permits, and once you have created an account, whether you've created an account, a new account, or whether you already have an account, I'm logging in right now, and it takes you to a place where you put in your date of birth, and my date of birth just happens to be May 13, 1965. So I'm going to submit that. And of course, they're asking for your address, and they need to know when your most recent Grand Canyon trip was. And of course, I was in 2020, and therefore my weight in the lottery is 3 points. Your weight would be 5 points. And so essentially, there is a place on here to go to lottery applications, and I've already started a lottery application, and I could edit it now. And what you'll see is a whole lot of dates. Now, the hardest part is to wonder whether or not you should have a small trip, which is up to 8 people, versus a larger trip here. And so from that standpoint, I recommend a larger trip, because what that allows the trip to have is more boats, more support, and it's safer. So from the standpoint of your ability to invite people, you can invite whoever you want if you win a trip. The bigger issue with that one is, of course, the duration of the trip, meaning that the ability to take the time off, as well as the ability to get to where you need to be for launching, and the ability to pay how much it costs to go on the canyon. In US dollars, I generally tell people that it's about $100 a day while on the river itself. However, prior to that, there are logistical issues such as travel to the United States, travel to specifically either Phoenix, Arizona or Flagstaff, Arizona, if you're going to fly in there, or if you were going to fly in and drive with me from Maine, we would drive across country, which would obviously be fun and interesting. Well, that's a different story, and that's about your amount of time off that you're willing and able to take. The other thing is, I personally do not like going in the heat of the summer, and that is the shortest period of time. And the heat of the summer tends to be from about my birthday in the middle of May all the way through into about the middle of September to late September and early October. Personally, I prefer cooler weather there, but when it's cooler weather, there's always the potential for it to be a little bit colder. So let's say, for instance, on the dates that I chose, and I'll show you what those dates are. I chose March 1st, March 5th, March 22nd, October 28th, and October 30th. And on these trips, I would probably want to go for 20 to 22 days, meaning that there would be time before that I would have to miss at work and time after I would have to miss at work. And then basically, it's at least a month commitment, okay? Now, you could certainly ask for a shorter trip. The shorter trips certainly are during the summer, during the period of time that I'm outlining here, and I'll show you again. These are the shorter times of the year, and they generally are 16 days. Now, 16 days to row 226 river miles is something that takes quite a bit of work, but it is easy to do. It's just ultimately you wish you had more time to explore the canyons and to take time away from all that you have to do otherwise. In the heat of the summer, you can tolerate it and I have no problem tolerating it. It is a different type of heat than the heat that you get in Brazil because of the humidity or lack of humidity, and also just the sheer level of heat. Personally, I like to avoid the heat. I like summertime where I live, and therefore I want to have these shoulder seasons. Personally, I would much prefer April or March, late March, early April, up to the first part of May. I also like October and late September. These are the times I would like to go, but I want you to be able to choose what you want for you and your family and whoever else you invite, because it is your trip. I promise you that if you have a trip, that you will be able to go on that trip. You will be the trip leader. However, what that means is you need people to help you lead that trip, and I would be very involved in doing so, and I would try to do so with your blessing from a variety of standpoints, and we would work very closely together to pull this off. We would be using an outfitter, and I would help you with all logistics from the standpoint of organizing that. But once you have chosen your date, don't put in my name here as the primary alternate trip leader. Don't do that. You would save the lottery application, and then you would ultimately pay through a website called us.gov, okay? Basically, I'm going to cancel and return to profile because I didn't make any changes, and I'm going to leave it at that. Other issues from the standpoint of when you should go, it is really up to you. I promise you that if you actually got a trip, even if it was in July, I would take you, and I would be happy to go with you. It would just be very hot, okay? And I look forward to talking to you in depth. Right now, I know that the lottery application is closed today. Oops, no. That's the follow-up lottery. The lottery application is closed on Tuesday. Okay, so I would definitely get your lottery application in, and that costs $25. That $25 application fee is non-refundable. However, if you do get a trip, it goes toward the full fee of everything, and those fees would be cut up and done equally, and you would be in charge of knowing exactly everything that is doing about the money, okay? So you would not have to worry about that, oh, this person's in control and that person's in control. We would work together, and I would certainly love it if you would want to take over the money portion of it. So we'll work together on however you need help, and I look forward to talking to you soon. I have a day off tomorrow.